Welcome back, guys. My name is Patrick. This is the Fanatic Rundown, and the Edmonton Oilers' futility against the Minnesota Wild continues tonight. The Minnesota Wild absolutely own the Edmonton Oilers. A 5-1 victory tonight for the Wild. And you just have to kind of think, is Minnesota in Edmonton's head right now? I mean, I look at the schedule and I see that the Oilers are going to be playing Minnesota. I really have an uneasy feeling. For 2 straight seasons now, obviously last year the Oilers didn't play Minnesota at all, but the year before they couldn't beat them, and this year Minnesota sweeps them again. And none of the games were really close, right? Minnesota beat them 5-1. I mean, the last one was 7-3, I believe. But either way, like pretty much all the games, Minnesota's really owned the Oilers. That continues tonight. Minnesota had the really strong start. They were turning pucks over in the Oilers' zone, chasing. The Oilers were just brutal in their own zone tonight, especially Duncan Keith. He had an absolutely horrible night, a -4 overall. The scoring got started with a Duncan Keith giveaway. He gives the puck right to Freddie Gaudreau in the Oilers' zone, skates around Mikko Koskinen and buries it. 1-0 Minnesota. If it was intentional, it was a beautiful play. Unfortunately, it was completely unintentional, and Duncan Keith looks horrible on the play. So a rough start right away for the Oilers. The top line of Evander Kane, Connor McDavid, and Jesse Puljujärvi was definitely the Oilers' best line on the night. They kept Minnesota pinned in their zone, created a lot of chances. Unfortunately, they couldn't get many dangerous chances. Minnesota did a great job of keeping them to the outside. And of course, Cam Talbot was there whenever a shot did get through. It was 1-0 Minnesota after 1. About 4 minutes into the second, Kevin Fiala, 2-0. The Oilers outworked in their own zone again. The puck goes into the slot. Fiala buries it past Koskinen. Duncan Keith is -2 on the night. It's 2-0 Wild, and you can just pretty much tell how this one's going. I really felt at that point the Oilers were going to need a depth goal. Yeah, McDavid's line was flying, but they just couldn't seem to get anything dangerous on Talbot. Zach Kassian had a couple chances to be that depth scorer tonight, but puts a puck off the post. Has a clear-cut breakaway from the blue line on Cam Talbot, but puts the puck over the net. So no dice for Kassian on either of those chances. And of course the fun continues. Shortly after a missed call where Minnesota should have been called for a delay of game, they put the puck over the glass. It's not called. Kevin Fiala gets his second of the night, puts Minnesota up 3-0. Duncan Keith and Evan Bouchard are, of course, on the ice once again, as Duncan Keith gets his -3 of the night. Head coach Jay Woodcroft tried shaking things up, trying to get something going tonight. Duncan Keith and Cody Ceci were put together, but that didn't seem to help. The Wild would go up 4-0. Duncan Keith on the ice again, his -4 of the night. It's 4-0 Minnesota, and this one's just brutal to watch. When Minnesota went up 4-0, it was their 4th goal on just 13 shots. Not going to lay this one on Mikko Koskinen. Pretty much this loss tonight is entirely on the Oilers' really poor defensive coverage. They had their chances. They outshot Minnesota tonight, but Cam Talbot was there for the Wild when he needed to be. Mikko Koskinen, yeah, you could maybe ask for a couple of those goals back, but regardless, even if he gives a couple of those back to you, the Oilers still go down 3-1 tonight, so it's a loss either way you cut it, but the Oilers' defensive play has to improve in their own zone. So a really rough night for Duncan Keith. Not going to lay this whole loss on him either. Like I said, overall the Oilers had really poor defensive coverage in their own zone, and Minnesota's just really quick. They can get on you, they pressure you, turn pucks over, and the Oilers just simply have to be better in their own zone. They gave up too many grade A chances, and basically Mikko Koskinen had no hope of winning the game tonight for the Oilers. It was 4-0 Minnesota heading into the third. Tyson Barrie gets burned for the 5th goal of the night that put Minnesota up 5-0 early in the third. This one was really looking like a Cam Talbot shutout because he's a former Oiler, right? So naturally he's going to come in and shut out the Oilers. But Leon Draisaitl, with his 21st power play goal of the season, his 51st goal of the season overall, sets a new record, passing Wayne Gretzky and Ryan Smith with his 21st goal on the power play. Makes it 5-1. The Oilers get on the board. There was one more big event before the game was over, though. Defending Kyler Yamamoto, Evander Kane goes after Kirill Kaprizov. That results in all the Minnesota Wild players on the ice going after Evander Kane, and then it looks like it's going to result in an Evander Kane and Ryan Hartman fight. But the refs pretty much pull them apart before they can get anything going, so no big fight results. Ryan Hartman gives Evander Kane the finger as he skates away, so real classy on Ryan Hartman's part. Give Evander Kane credit, defending his teammate, trying to get something going for the Oilers, but obviously it's too little too late at that point. But good to see the Oilers still showing emotion late in the game. Evander Kane doing what he was brought in to do. Sure, he can score goals, but he definitely brings an element of toughness to the Oilers as well. Yes, it's 5-1. It's a crappy game. We all hate watching games like this, but the Oilers need to get that emotion going. They need to come back with a strong effort against Nashville on Thursday, and a strong finish to this game will help them do that. You don't want to walk away from a 5-1 game just listless, not even caring, just hanging your head down. You want to go back mad, angry. They have no more games against the Minnesota Wild this year, obviously, unless they meet deep in the playoffs. But I really hope the Oilers don't meet Minnesota in the playoffs, because I don't think that one's going to end well based on how the past 2 years have gone. Give the Wild credit. GM Bill Guerin has put together a hell of a team there with Marc-Andre Fleury and Cam Talbot in net. Don't have a lot of star players aside from Kirill Kaprizov, but they have a great overall team, very hard to play against. They play a strong offensive style, strong defensive style, and it's really hard to get anything going against them. Just ask the Oilers. They haven't been able to do it for 2 years now, so give Minnesota Wild credit. They put a hell of a performance in tonight. A 5-1 victory over the Edmonton Oilers. Plenty of lessons for the Oilers to take away from this one. Have to be better in their own zone as their primary thing, but they also have to find a way to get more pucks to the net. The Minnesota Wild and other teams this year have done a great job of keeping the Oilers to the outside. They gotta fight their way to the net. And another big thing, of course, the Oilers have to get more from the bottom end of their lineup. The McDavid line carried them tonight, but it wasn't enough. They need more than one line going if they're going to beat a team like the Minnesota Wild. I'm going to give the play of the game tonight to Kevin Fiala for the goal that put the Minnesota Wild up 3-0. It was a great shot over the shoulder of Mikko Koskinen. Like I said, gave the Wild a 3-0 lead at that point. And my player of the game tonight is Evander Kane. Put in a hell of an effort tonight. Tried to get the Oilers going in the third period. No goals or assists tonight, but you noticed them all night long. So Evander Kane is my player of the game tonight, and Kevin Fiala of the Minnesota Wild with my play of the game tonight. That's all for me for tonight, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care.